Bobblehead. Oh.
The big pause.
That wasn't good. Okay.
Hey,
Hey!
we're back.
We're back again for another night. And we got a
Yeah.
new Google Meets layout here tonight, folks. You might notice that. A little bit different. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Outreach, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. First of all, I'd like to welcome back our regular co-host, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshadow Observatory in beautiful Hampton, NB.
Hello.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
And we also have Mr. Mike Powell here from the PFO Observatory here in St. John, New Brunswick. Hey, Mike. Evening.
Hello.
Going to keep an eye on what's going on Facebook and YouTube as far as comments go, stuff like that. These guys always do that for me anyway. But yeah, a little bit of a different format here tonight with the Google Meets layout. What it did do though is that when we do a presentation. Oh, somebody's got their volume up in the background. Okay. When you do a presentation, it doesn't quite fill the whole screen, so you still see the three of us down the Three Stooges down the right-hand side there. So anyway. Did I say that out loud? The Three Stooges? I think I did. That's it. Sad, isn't it? Yeah. All right. We got another busy show here for you tonight. Of course, we just experienced the biggest celestial event of the year, which was the annular solar eclipse. Not the annual solar. Wish it was annual. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But this is annular solar eclipse. And other than the winds, we had an amazing view here in St. John. Tonight we'll take some time to celebrate the event by taking a look at all of your amazing photos, first of all, that you've sent in. Talking a bit about our own personal experiences through the event and discussing the big event coming in 2024. Also tonight, Mike will be back with Bino Bud and his binocular target of the week. Mike, what was your binocular target this week?
Oh, you had to ask again.
67? No.
Yeah.
M67. Yep. Messier 67. Okay. We'll find out what that is. Okay. I'm sorry. There. Surprise ruined. Good.
All right.
And Paul's got another interesting Rosanna's Fun Facts episode for us to share. And we're also going to take a peek. This week we are going to take a peek at the celestial events, the remaining best celestial events for the rest of the year. And I guess that's about it. So sit back, I guess, folks, and enjoy. And remember, this is a family-friendly live broadcast. So if you have any questions about the night sky, we're happy to try and answer them here for you. So let's get started a little bit about the discussion on how things went this week, guys. Thursday morning, sunrise.
Yes.
Awesome. Windy morning.
Early.
Early. Yeah.
Yes.
Went to bed.
You were up with the birds. Actually, you were up before the birds.
I don't think I went to bed with the birds. No. I was about 1:30. I thought I didn't have enough notes prepared because you think in 2 hours time, it's going to be a lot of dead air time in there to fill in. So what am I going to talk about? Well, so I started gathering notes about the sun and the moon and, solar cycle, all that kind of stuff, sunspots, what causes them. And I had 32 pages, I think, prepared of notes. And I didn't even open them. Didn't even get a chance to look at them. They were in my laptop case sitting there beside me, and I didn't even look at them. So the time went by just like that for me. It went by so fast. But
yeah,
of course, I was doing something different. But it was an amazing event for me. It was just as good as the one in 2017. I mean, yeah, 2017 one was an afternoon kind of an event, but this one was early morning. But to watch that coming up at sunrise was just incredible to see it happening right at sunrise. For me, it was just spectacular. Now, I didn't get a chance to look at the eclipse. Like Mike said, you spent all that time online, but you didn't even look at the eclipse. No, I didn't.
The only person that did not watch the eclipse.
But I watched it through my phone with another pile of people, so that was the big part for me.
I was doing it just as bad. I was watching it through my laptop screen, and then I'd stick my head up every now and then, and I couldn't see the laptop screen again.
Yeah. Yeah, we were up at Technology Drive, right up beside the Xerox property there in St. John. It's a nice big field there. I guess it's owned by the city, but it does give you a pretty decent view of the horizon. Kind of fooled us because it did kind of come up in a little bit of a valley with some trees there, so we didn't catch the very beginning of it, but we were close enough to get most of it. Paul, you were set up on a different location, capturing your amazing photos. You were getting that special $1 million shot, I know. So.
Yeah, well, I was over the west side, and I just used one of those apps that shows you where the sun's going to rise, and over top of a satellite version of what you're looking at, the area you're looking at, and right almost to a couple of feet, you could see exactly where it was going to come up. I hadn't used this app before, so I thought, well, we'll see. And I planned it with that app, and it was bang on. Because I took that same point of view from Fort Howe, which is one of the places we talked about. We thought to come over the city there, and from where you guys were. And it showed that it wasn't going to come up anywhere near the city. It was going to be way over off like Loch Lomond Road.
Okay.
And, which is exactly what happened, where it was for you guys. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was spectacular to see it. It was just amazing to watch that come up like that. Because as soon as it broke the horizon, it was already into the phase.
Yeah.
So we're just like, yeah.
And the one time where we didn't get clouds to the east in the morning, you caught it as soon as it popped, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rare.
Yeah.
It's really rare.
Well, you know what? There was a haze there.
Yeah.
But the haze added some, drama to the photo.
Oh, absolutely.
Which was nice. And it was like, yeah, the haze is there, but let the sun come through. Woo-hoo.
The wind flow just stretched across the sky, and it was just beautiful.
Wonderful. Yeah.
At 2 o'clock, before I head up to the site, I think it was there at 3:30. Anyway, I looked at the satellite shot, and it's like, oh no, there's a big bank of cloud coming down over the province this way. Like come on. But they kind of come down, and it kind of went down towards Maine and across by Moncton, and it just kind of opened up for us. It was like, and we actually, by the end of the eclipse, we were looking up and we could see the cloud bank off to our west, right? But to the east, it was still clear. So we just lucked out for that one for sure. Now, if we could luck out again for August or April the 8th of 2024, that would be the big one.
That would be the big one.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't be a snowstorm.
Snowstorm.
But you know what was nice about that? It was nice to see people out again, because every time you get any kind of a major celestial event, it brings people out because everybody's curious. They don't know that until something like this happens.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they just got to go see the spectacle.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to see that you can bring everybody together and focus on one thing, with all this craziness going on around us.
Even if it's online, yeah. And I mean, the thing is that we were getting the view that you could share right around the world. That's the advantage of tech. We've learned, I guess, through this pandemic, even the three of us, how much online learning has made a difference, or our online presence, because we haven't been able to do the in-person presence for so long. We know that's coming back. We're getting very close to the green phase for us now here in Brunswick, at least. So maybe by late August, we'll be back at the point, or early September, we'll be back at the point where we can start to think about the public outreach again.
Yeah.
But just to be able to offer that to so many in other places that were clouded out, and places that didn't have the opportunity to get the view that we were getting was nice too. Yeah. So if I just want to explain the annular eclipse, there we are. So here's the moon, here's the Earth, and of course when the moon travels around the Earth, it goes around in an elliptical path. So sometimes it's in close to us, and other times it's out far. This time, the moon was at what we call perigee, the farthest point, or almost the farthest point it was in its orbit around us. So when we're peering at the sun from the Earth, the moon couldn't completely block out the disk of the sun. So that's called an annular eclipse. The ring that's around the outside, the ring of fire, is called the annulus. That's why it's called an annular eclipse. Now, the one that we get in 2024 is going to be when the moon is getting closer to us, of course, so it's going to completely block out the disk of the sun, and that's our total solar eclipse coming up on April the 8th of 2024. And of course, when we have our moon cycle and the moon is in closer to us and it's in our evening sky, then we have these big supermoons that are coming up. So it's just celestial mechanics. But we're living in a time when the moon is actually 400 times closer to us than the sun, but it's also 400 times smaller in diameter than the sun. So the two objects look the same size in our sky most of the time. So the sun and the moon look about the same size. The only difference is that the fact that it is an elliptical orbit around us. So, but it has to be at the right point. So why don't we have one every month? Well, because we're not all in a parallel plane like this either. The moon is either 5 degrees above us or it's 5 degrees below us, and it orbits us like this kind of thing. So what has to happen is that when the moon is coming down, it crosses this point we call the node. That's the point that would put it parallel with us in the plane of the planets and the sun. When it crosses that node, it has to be in the exact location that it's actually between us and the sun at the same time before we get an eclipse. And
I didn't know that.
I did not know that. Yeah. So if it's at either node when it's happening, you'll have a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, depending on which
There
node.
should be a nodal eclipse.
No, yeah, because so the moon extends a shadow about 400,000 kilometers out into space, and as it's passing between us and the sun, that's us passing through its shadow, basically. So that's why we get this little path across the disk. But yeah, so the moon is either 5 degrees above or 5 degrees below. Now, lots of times it crosses, but it's not in the place where the three of us align. So
Yeah.
that's why it happens. That's why it's rare. That's why it doesn't happen every month.
We're the same way with Mercury and Venus. They're on a tilt as well, so we only
Exactly.
get those eclipses at certain times too, because either they're above or below that line.
Right. More often with Mercury. Mercury is about 13 times a century when we'll get to see it transiting across the face of the sun. Venus is not till about 2138, I think, the next time for Venus. So I'll probably miss that one, but. Yeah. But anyway, that was the whole thing. It was fascinating to see, and we're going to get into some pictures too. But I think what we'll do is we're going to go right. How about we go to Bino Bud? We'll get into Rosanna's fun fact talk, and then we'll do our pictures right after that. Does that sound good, guys? Or are you guys still there? Hello?
Is that a statement or a comment?
It could be either.
I was in the middle of an annular brain hemorrhage.
I get that all the time. Hopefully, we have a Bino Bud.
There's Bino Bud. Hey, Bino.
Hey, Mr. Bino.
So with summer coming, Bino's been says an opportunity is coming up here real soon for anybody that's got binoculars, because the Milky Way is just gonna be awesome in a pair of binoculars, and it's starting to break now and come up just before midnight. But for tonight, Bino Bud wants to offer you Messier 67, the GoldenEye cluster.
Of course.
I'll probably get a royalty kick on that one.
Yeah.
There goes our show.
Messier 67, also known as NGC 2682, or the GoldenEye cluster. And then I wonder if they had it first or if Bond had it first. Now, that's interesting to find out. This is an open cluster in the southern equatorial half of Cancer. Estimates of its age range between 3.2 and 5 billion years.
Wow.
Its estimates are likewise varied and typically are 800 to 900 parsecs. Like that's a long ways out there. How to find it in the sky? The easiest way to find it is to look up and find Gemini. You'll see Castor and Pollux up in the corner, and you just draw a straight line down through. You might catch Messier 44 on your sweep down, and it's just down below it. That'll put M67 in your field of view. Again, if you can find M44, which is a big target, then you just have to come down a little bit, say from instead of 6 o'clock, you come down to 7 o'clock and you'll hit M67. What are you going to see? It's a beautiful cluster, nice and tight, but you can make it out against the background stars again. Often you look and you say, there's so many stars in that field of view, how am I going to see that particular cluster? In this case, it does stand out nicely against the background sky. There's some beautiful different color stars in there, some reds and blues that you can pick out in a small telescope. You might even be able to see the color changes in binoculars. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it myself. If you're using 10 by 50s, this is what it looks like in the sky. So you'll see, some bright stars around it, and then you'll see that cluster in the center. Comparing it to the full moon, it's probably about half the size of the full moon. So it's not a big target. But again, when you do find it, it's very noticeable against the background stars. And that's our Bino Buds target of the week.
Not your
Mine's the refractor.
Yeah, they're all refractors. Awesome, Mike. Thanks very much. Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem.
That you could say that was a cluster of telescopes.
It was a cluster.
So in closing, sorry, wrong notes.
Yeah, it's a short show tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Really brief.
This one hurt a bit, did it?
Tell you what we'll do. Well, we got I think about 50 photos to show. So why don't we'll show 10 and then we'll do another talk and 10 another talk. How's that? Break them up a little bit.
Whatever you like.
Let's do it on the fly.
Let's do it that way. Okay. Yeah, do it on the fly. That's how we usually do stuff. Okay, let me present the first maybe 10 photos that were sent in. Present my entire screen, make sure I get everything going here. And we want to go to full screen. Okay, let's see what we got. Here's one coming up. Yes?
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay. This was from Alan Burgess. Alan says, "Good morning, Chris. Here's my first attempt of taking an image of a DSO, a Messier 81, on June the 11th. Went out the other night trying to learn the setup of my new telescope and decided to take an image using an 8-inch Edge HD with a 294 MC Pro with 0.7 reducer, a 290 millimeter mini for a guide camera. Trying to learn processing with PixInsight. What an intense program," he says. "This is what I have so far, a lot to learn. Any input from you, Paul, and Mike would be of a great help." I can't input any information. I'm the outreach guy. I don't take pictures. I just share Paul's and Mike's pictures, but these guys...
just getting started. That's a darn good start.
Isn't it?
Yeah, no, he's
Real good start. Nice round stars, man.
There's like if you're using PixInsight, like he said, it's very intense. What I would recommend that you do is go on YouTube. There's a number of different guys on there that will walk you through PixInsight. But Sean Nielsen, I can't remember the name, is Visible Dark. Look him up, and he does short little videos on every aspect of PixInsight, and he's very easy to watch, and you pick up from him no problem. He makes the difficult things very simple. And by looking at what I'm seeing here, and this is only secondhand on the screen, but I see you have to learn how to deal with some noise. So there's a variety of noise reduction things you can do with that particular photograph that would help a lot. And like I said, if you go to Visible Dark and check out Sean Nielsen and just type in YouTube Visible Dark noise reduction PixInsight, and he's got a variety of different videos on how you can control your noise. But everything else that you've done there, from what I can see, looks fantastic. You know, maybe it's some color balance, and there's a whole automation for color balance in PixInsight as well. So, but other than that, that's fantastic start.
Awesome, great start.
Yep.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
We get this one from Michelle Dara. And Michelle says, "Hi, Chris. The town of Florenceville, Bristol, held an eclipse viewing event this morning at that of course is Thursday at Tanagton, I think it is, bed and breakfast property. I didn't realize until I get back to the office that I captured what you described earlier this week, that tiny gaps between the leaves would actually create projections of the eclipse."
Pretty cool.
So there it is. Yeah. Awesome, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks for providing such great information. Michelle Dara is the Administrative Services Manager for the town of Florenceville, Bristol, who is setting up a complete program now for the 2024 eclipse. They're really moving ahead with it. You got to hand it to them. They're taking charge of that project in their area, and they've already got a committee formed. They've met several times, all kinds of things. So very well done, Michelle. Thank you for sending that in.
Beautiful. They're through the trees, eh?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This one came from Richard Williams. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. He said June 10th, 2021 solar eclipse. Hey, I'd like to submit a photo I took this morning near Tin Can Beach in Uptown St. John. Awesome,
nice.
Richard. Yeah.
Well done, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. Eh?
The whole thing. Great job.
Right. Nice presentation.
And next we have Mike Boyer. Mike Boyer said, I wanted to thank you for the coverage of the eclipse. I noticed the sun coming through the trees onto my living room wall. I got several still shots, but wish I had done it in a video, but still pretty cool. So yeah,
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
it didn't doesn't take much to capture the sun in anything really. Yeah, through mini blinds, through the window. Maura Heerly sent this one in from my window. Just a cool reflection in the painting through my window when the sun rose. Where is she at now?
Yes, sir.
That's Mike Boyer's.
Sorry, that's Mike Boyer's there. Sorry. Yeah, I see that at the top now. Might have them in the wrong order here. There's Maura. And there's the one coming through her window. Just a cool reflection in my painting through the window when the sun rose, she says.
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Very nice.
Sunrise at sunrise.
Yeah. This one's from Brent Wilson. He said a shot taken from St. Andrews. Awesome, Brent.
Very nice.
Yeah, about halfway.
Yeah.
That's good.
And there's another one that he captured.
Very nice. That was right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's someone else.
Yeah.
Why are these not in order? 8.
Start reading the names at the top.
I am. I'm looking at them, but oh, there it is.
So
That's it. That's it.
right.
That's the second one there.
There it is. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Smiley face.
Smiley face. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go with one more. I think I'll make sure I got them here. Andre Dorian. Yeah, Andre Doran.
Oh, the pinhole thing, is it?
Yeah, he said 7 o'clock inverted because of the pinhole effect. A smaller, darker spot. I guess I'm maybe because of lack of focus. That might be, but yeah, sometimes it's just the distance that you're holding it away that makes the difference. But here's what he was using.
Right on.
Cool.
I like it.
Oh, it's amazing.
And there's
That's a MacGyver moment right there.
Yes, sir. And there's a scene. So awesome.
Nice.
Great. Okay, let's pause there. That's at Brent Wilson, so we'll pause there. For now, I'm going to stop presenting. And we're going to take a look at some more. All great photos, folks. Thanks very much.
Oh, just the enthusiasm around it is
Yeah.
really nice.
Okay, from there, we're going to go to, how about we do a Rosanna's Fun Facts?
All right, we're gonna try. All right, let me set it up here, and all right, and now I'll make sure. This time I'm a little smarter than I was last time. Not a whole lot, but just a little. I'm gonna shrink that down. I don't know if I can shrink that or not. There, I can drag it at least. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to present screen, and we'll see. We'll cross our fingers and hope for the best.
That's all we can do. That's what we always do.
Yes.
We're live.
And this is this week's.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Hey, good job.
All right.
Made it
Well,
that
welcome
far.
back, Rosanna. You know, and she was there with us at the eclipse.
She was.
Yes, yes. So for those folks who were around, they may have had a chance to meet the infamous Rosanna. Anyway, Rosanna wrote a very cool article actually last week, and I didn't get a chance to put it on because we were kind of short on time. But this week, it's time to do it. So she starts off by saying, minding your P's and Q's. The search for peace and quiet. There are times, even in the midst of the pandemic, or perhaps because of it, where one might be seeking some peace and quiet. So Jack O'Burns, the only scientist on Trump's new administration team for NASA back in 2016, has spent his career pushing for a telescope to be built on the far side of the moon. Why? Well, essentially because of the peace and quiet. Why do we need peace and quiet? There is a dark age in the history of the universe, an age that is blank for astronomers and information, and its ongoing mystery. Now, which way do those things go? There we are. And I'm going to blow this up because this has a little significance. So what this is, so Jack O'Byrne's, first of all, this massive galaxy cluster intertwined with threads of dark matter, which is the blue, but seeing blue, and gas, which is the orange. The formation of the large-scale structures seen today are thought to have originated during the universe's mysterious dark ages. So to quote Discover magazine, before the first stars, the universe didn't emit visible light. But the primordial matter that pervaded the universe likely did emit radio signals. So astronomers have never seen these wavelengths because they are so stretched out that they can't be detected over a radio chatter bouncing around the Earth. And, well, the Earth is actually noisy. And I think we know that. And it's getting noisier. So let me just blow this up. So, thus the need to go to the far side of the moon. Its surface faces away from the Earth and will provide a natural noise barrier, providing the quiet necessary for radio telescopes to listen to the dark ages. Timeline history of the universe, and that's what you're seeing here. So basically, the Big Bang, and then as it goes along, it went into the hot ionized plasma, then we went into the dark ages, and it kind of gives a timeline on, say, for example, on this portion of the Big Bang, 1 second, matter and light collide frequently. 10 seconds to 20 minutes, the bang, I can't read it because it's too small, creates this helium and lithium nucleus. After 380,000 years, the CMS is produced as natural atoms from the protons, and they break free. In the 300 million to 500 million years, energetic light from the first stars and galaxies begin to break apart atoms, reionizing the universe. And then 1 billion years until where we are, the universe is fully transparent to light. Structures form over billions of years. So that basically is what they call from darkness to light, and that's kind of a chart. So in 1986, almost 100 of the world's best astronomers were gathered at a hotel in Houston, presenting bold ideas for building telescopes on our natural satellite. Now, less than 3 weeks later, the Challenger crashed and all plans were shelved or quietly pursued. Now, due to modern robotics and the emergence of private spaceflight companies, the possibility of creating a telescope on the far side of the moon is becoming a reality with a price tag far less than the cost of the Mars rover. So the studies FARSIDE, and FARSIDE is an acronym for Far-Side Array for Radio Science Investigations of Dark Ages and Exoplanets. So I think FARSIDE is a lot easier to say. The team has been working with, likely, you guessed it, Blue Origin's Jeff Bezos, his space company. Now, let me see if I can go to the next slide. Make that a little bigger so you all can see it. So China is also chasing similar goals. The country has already deployed a small telescope on the lunar far side with its Chang'e 4. Now it's moving forward with plans for missions surprisingly similar to the ones Burns has been pushing and planning for decades. The space race never finishes. It just alters course. Now, shrink that down and go over here and make this bigger, hopefully. There we go. So one way or another, NASA, the Chinese, Jeff Bezos, or perhaps all three will be going a long way in a short time to explore the dark ages. And this little cartoon says, we've made starting discovery that the far side of the moon is just like the near side, only a little further away.
Pretty scientific.
So good. And that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Facts.
Awesome. Hey.
That is so cool. That is so interesting. I don't know. I like that whole story.
Thank you so much, Rosanna, for another great story.
As always.
As
That's
always.
a good point, though. Eventually, with all the satellites and stuff around the Earth, we're going to have to get away from it to do any study.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, with I mean, how many satellites are there now, and how many are there planning to be? I mean, it's just getting crazy.
Yeah, 12,000 with Elon Musk alone, right? And
Yeah.
I feel bad for the radio astronomers. That's the ones who are trying to get
Yeah,
the signals in,
exactly.
and there's just so much else up there that's interfering with it already, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a shame. Okay, let's go with another few photos because we got to squeeze these in, and then we'll do a quick talk about the remaining celestial events of the year. Find out where I left off now. I left off with Andre Duavron. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to bring up one from. There we go. So there's Mr. Bob Cameron.
Nice.
Bob said he got this from Petit Cap, Little Cape, New Brunswick. Some clouds here, but I think it helps the effect. It sure does. Amazing shot. Pretty
Yes,
well
indeed.
done. Good job, Bob. Thanks for sending that in.
Beautiful.
I got these from Benjamin Lundquist. He is in Lake Michigan, Glencoe, Illinois, USA. So there's it is at beginning, I guess, from his point of view.
Right.
That's as close to the horizon as you're going to get.
That's it. And there's the start of a little bite coming out of it.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Jason Dane sent this one in. He said, I was able to catch it just after sunrise and watched it until it was over. Thankfully, the clouds held off for a change. Awesome capture there, Jason.
Yeah.
That's the way he arched it, too, just the way it was, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
Well done.
Well done.
Jeremy Costain sent this one in. Awesome shot, Jeremy.
Where was he? I wonder what he was in.
I didn't give me too much of a description on that one.
Yeah.
Looks like it's reflected off a window of some sort.
Yeah, it looks like he's in an airplane.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I'll have
Nice
to ask.
shot.
This one's from Marla Quigley. Yep. Taken through solar glasses, she says.
Well done.
Oh, that's a neat idea.
Good idea, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have the cell phone with the solar glasses in front of it. Good idea.
It worked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ben,
there
Ben Brame sent this one in from Toronto.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
A lot of nice photos here.
Yeah.
And here's his second shot from Toronto as well.
Yes,
A little bit of
Awesome.
a little bit of cloud makes a nice, a little bit of drama on it, doesn't it?
Does.
It gives so much depth, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole Cormier sent this one, and she said, I caught this through the mini blinds this morning. Look at that.
Oh, what's that?
I would have drove my cats crazy, I guarantee you.
Got these from David Samard. These
Oh, right at the
eclipse
beginning.
photos. Yeah, just at the beginning. And another one
There we go.
right along.
Nice. Back out again.
Back out again. And this one right at the horizon.
Oh, that's nice.
Nicely done.
That horizon never gets old.
No.
No.
One final one there with some cloud.
Yes. Right on.
Awesome.
Oh.
Great shots.
Very nice.
Let me see who I've got next here. I've got this one came in from the Sabins. He says, "Hi Chris, I was finishing up some yard work when I looked up. These were taken on my back deck with my LG cell phone. Must have been last night, I guess."
Yeah.
Awesome crescent moon with a little bit of earth shine last night. More tonight for sure. Jeff Legier sent these ones in. Jeff said there are so many photos. He said I chose just 4. Early setup.
Yeah.
He had to get higher up, he said. He is higher up there for sure. On top of containers.
Is that a screen?
What's
I
that?
was thinking the same thing. It looks like a screen. Yeah.
A big TV screen?
Yeah, it does, yeah. He must have been blasting at the people. Perfect. Early setup. Then he says partial. And then almost done. And the early risers. There they are.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Look at the place they had to stand on. That's great.
Awesome, yeah.
Now they're used for sea cans.
That's it. Okay, let's go with a few more. Dave McCashin sent these in. He said, "Hi, Chris. I think I got T2 Palomar overnight comet from Prince of
sure.
Wales. One image is cropped and enhanced. and the other is a side-by-side comparison with a nearby globular cluster M3. The comparison image has the same camera and telescope settings for both images.
Oh, it's
There it is
there.
right there.
Yeah.
He's the guy who can get them. He is the
I got
guy
the
who gets
super
these.
shot. He's got it for sure.
Yeah. He says, thanks for your interest in the great show that you, Mike, and Paul are putting on. So thank you, Dave, for that.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
There's another capture of it right there. He always gets
Excellent.
these ones. And if you want to go read a good blog, you want to read a good observing report, like suggestions are always made to make your observing report, or even to keep a diary or whatever, like an observer's diary, so you can go back in a year's time and see, hey, that's the first time I observed Jupiter or Saturn or whatever. This guy here, I'm trying to get him on the show. I've been trying for a while, but we'll get him on eventually, I think. But Dave does make some amazing observing reports. So if you go here to this address, you'll find his latest observing report. Now, Dave doesn't just post, I was out there, I took a picture, come back inside. Dave says it was 12 degrees outside, the humidity was this, I saw three turtles walking down the road. He gets very, very descriptive, and he pulls you right into the story.
He does.
I find like you're
Amazing how he does that.
Almost like you're standing right there beside him when he's doing his viewing, and he's very descriptive on every time he goes out. So I really enjoy reading his reports. So we'll get him on here, get him to tell us how to do a proper observing report sometime.
Yeah.
We'll have to coax him maybe.
Yeah.
Some people are a little shy. This is Renat sent these ones in. Renata, I guess, restless night before, she said, drive to St. John, on location, handheld, abstract and colorful digital art evidence, plus meeting with Yolanda and her delightful eclipse cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They were good.
I took some of those with me.
Yeah. She says, also, lesson learned, Mike Powell can fix certified impossible things with just one hand over 3 axes and 5 dimensions in less than 30 seconds while multitasking, live streaming, and time-lapsing like eclipse pics. Amazing to watch, Mike, and thank you. So,
yeah, you're more than welcome. That's funny.
We'll get through her for a few pictures here, and we'll go back to our... So here's I just got to zoom these in because this is the way they were saved. That's us at Technology Drive, of course. Sun's coming up right over there.
Yep.
And another one through her binoculars, I believe. Oh, we're a little too
Yeah.
far. This is the one we want to get. The one's a little too far. We're going to stop here. Okay. Let's quit right there. Actually, we'll go one more. We'll do this one for Lisa, from Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The canoe shot, I call it.
Yeah. That's it there.
That's
Lisa.
cool, eh?
Yeah. Isn't
Wow,
that awesome? Lisa says, hi, Chris. I've been enjoying everyone's eclipse photos and like the live feed. Here's my contribution to the mix. Even though I'm a New York Rangers fan, I call this one the Jersey Devil.
Awesome.
Taken from Avon by the Sea, New Jersey. So thanks, Lisa.
Wow.
Awesome shot.
Beautiful
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah.
And it never gets old when you look at, if you're lucky enough to have a water horizon like that,
Yeah.
the shapes, the deformation that the moon and the sun take
Right.
when it shoots coming up, it's just unbelievable to
And
watch.
it looks so huge right there at the horizon too, right? So
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
look at the size of the boat compared to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boat could sit in that boat. Oh, okay. Let's quit there for now.
The boot.
Yeah, the boat boot. Thanks everyone for those fantastic photos.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's continue here with our little talk on. I'm going to do a little presentation here, just on what's coming up for the rest of the month. We're at about 8:41, but I think we still got time to get through the rest of the pictures. This is only going to be about 8 slides or so. Should go pretty quickly. Just give me a sec. I'm going to open it up. So, upcoming celestial events. What do we have to look forward to for the rest of the year? Well, we got to look forward to getting out with the public, hopefully, sometime down the road. But this is our upcoming celestial events. So I had to take out a few because I've had this prepared for a few weeks now, but a few events have happened since, so including the eclipse. So we won't be talking about that, but let's just move along through them. We've got our June 24th supermoon, which is supposed to be the last supermoon of the year. Now, some places are saying no, it's not a supermoon because it's not happening at a point when it's 90% of its distance within perigee, but other sites are saying yes, it is. So there's a big.
I had to take out a few because I've had this prepared for a few
I'm
weeks.
getting some volume. Who's talking back?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's me again.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So the this may be a supermoon, may not be a supermoon. I don't care. On the 24th of June, go out and take a look. You're going to see it big at the horizon anyway. Whether it is or not, it's still going to appear very big and always nice for a photo for sure. So June 24th for that one. After that, we've got Venus and Mars conjunction coming up on July 13th. Now, Venus and Mars are going to be less than 1/2 of a degree apart in the sky, so that's less than the width of your finger held out at the end of your arm. So field of view of binoculars is usually about 5 degrees, so you should easily be able to get the two of those in the field of view of binoculars, very close together. Binoculars might not even separate them. I'm not sure. You might need a telescope to separate them when they get that close, when they get within 1/2 of a degree. But that's two planets from our point of view getting very close. From there on, I didn't look at, there are a number of transits of the moons across the face of Jupiter. There's one coming up, I think, at the end of this month that has 2 moons that are going to pass by at the same time. Basically, Callisto starts to go over, and then Io catches up to it, and it passes it on the way by. I'll have to post that activity up on my page later on, but I know it is later this month. But we've got Jupiter and Saturn in our evening sky all summer long now coming up. So Jupiter by the end of next week, I believe, Saturn by the end of next week is going to rise around 11:30 at night. So it's getting closer. But we've still got the rest of the summer, August and September for sure, because Saturn now is going to be at opposition on August the 2nd. Which means the Sun, the Earth, and Saturn are all lined up in a straight line in our sky, in our solar system, and that means that when the Sun sets, Saturn rises, and when Saturn sets, the Sun rises. So it's up all night, just like it is on a full moon night. So you're going to have some great viewing at that time. Now the ecliptic, the path that the planets take across the sky, is a lot lower in the summertime. So the views aren't great, but they can be nice if you wait until the sun, planet Saturn is up at its highest point throughout that evening or whatever. Of course, planets are reflected sunlight; they don't generate their own, so that reflected sunlight has to come back from about 2.3 billion kilometers through our atmosphere and end up at our eyeball or our camera lens or whatever. So sometimes it can get distorted a bit, but that can also happen from heat that's rising up off the surface of the Earth. But still, it's Saturn and its rings, and it's magnificent to see. When you see it in a telescope for the first time, I've had people actually walk up to the front of my telescope and look in because they thought I was hanging a toy there in the front. But it is amazing to see. It's something that just doesn't appear like it should be happening. But so that's coming up on opposition on August the 2nd. Then we've got the Perseid meteor shower this year. Peaks on August the 11th. And on that date, the moon is only going to be 13% full, which means the moon's going to set early in the evening. So we've got a good opportunity to see between 50 and 75 meteors per hour on the peak night, which is that August 11th night, 11th into the 12th. So if you're up that evening, nice warm night in August 11th, really nice warm. Just grab yourself a lawn chair, sit outside, bring some friends along with you, take along a hot beverage, a nice blanket, and don't even bring binoculars if you don't want to. Just you don't need any type of observing equipment at all. You just sit there, look up, and catch as many as you can. August the 19th, Jupiter's at opposition. So that's the same thing as what was happening with Saturn, although it'll be Jupiter this time. So when the sun sets, Jupiter rises. When sun rises, Jupiter sets. So that's going to be up all night long. So we've got great timing for Saturn and Jupiter, the big gas giant planets, and great viewing for them both. Jupiter, of course, you're going to get to see Jupiter and 4 of its moons, the great red spot, lots of detail, these festoons that move around Jupiter. With the larger telescopes, you can actually pick out more detail. So it's a great time for those. August the 22nd, on that particular morning, it's going to be the only blue moon of 2021, which means it's the second full moon of the month. It's not going to be blue. It just means that when you have 2 full moons in 1 month, the second one is called a blue moon. So it's the only blue moon of 2021 that rises with Jupiter and Saturn at 8:15 I'm sorry, in that evening, 8:15 that evening. So that's kind of special. And then we've got a partial lunar eclipse coming up on November the 19th this year. And we're going to have another one in May of next year and another one in November of next year. And they're going to keep happening until we get up to 2024. But this lunar eclipse, they're calling it partial, but you can see how little of it is actually going to be outside Earth's umbra. So the darker part of the shadow is here, the medium part of the shadow is here, and then of course out here there's no shadow. So they're just calling it partial because it's just a small piece that's going to sit outside the umbra, but 99% I believe is going to be inside the darker part of the shadow. So we're going to get a chance to see that easy. So the eclipse begins at 2:02 and it's maximum at 5:02. I'm sorry, I'm hearing somebody back again. And it ends at 7:38. So that's quite a long eclipse, from 2:02 in the morning to 7:38, 5 hours. So it's going to pass right through the thicker part of our shadow, all the way straight, almost straight through. So that'll take a longer period of time for the whole thing to happen. Of course, this is just a thicker part. It's still going to have to take time to pass through this part. Then the Gemini meteor shower peaks on December the 14th. The moon will be nearly full, so it's not going to be the very best of shows. So you want to catch the one in August, but it is still a shower regardless. And of course, we've got several moon-planet conjunctions each month. I mean, last night the moon and Venus were together. Tonight it's the moon and Mars together. The moon, of course, moves a little bit farther across our sky towards the eastern part of the sky each night, so it gets a chance to meet up with each one of the planets. There's lots of unknowns. A new solar cycle has begun now, so there's more sunspots coming, more solar flares, maybe opportunities for northern lights, maybe another surprise comet. Who knows? We had one there just a little while back that really surprised everybody, so it was nice to get that. And watch for comet A1 Leonard in December, which is supposed to be a comet that is supposed to brighten up to naked eye in December at this point so far. But bottom line, just keep looking up. So that's what we've got to look forward to from now until 2022.
So that's 6 months, I guess. Hey,
Yeah. And we'll come up with another one in another 6 months.
that's right.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know. I mean, again, with comets, they can happen at any time. Solar flares happen anytime. Sunspots, we're getting back into our good part of the cycle. We start to see more and more active sunspots happening now. So we've got lots of activity coming up, lots of planet viewing for the summer for sure. So lots of occasions to take your binoculars out and take a look at the night sky. Okay, let's get back to a few more photos. At 8:50, I think we can get through the rest of them, I'm hoping. Let me bring us up 2% now again. And I just got to get my notes in order. So David Smart sent these in from last night. Waxing crescent there with a nice earth shine. Just a thin crescent last night, but still a beautiful view.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yep.
And as well as this one.
Those ones are great.
Yeah,
I like
different capture.
it.
He says I was using a 60 millimeter ioptron and an ioptron Pro Cube mount.
Right on.
Pretty good
So
shot for 60
those
millimeter.
the four craters, the main craters, because I think that moon would have been switched around the other way.
Yeah.
'Cause that's inverted, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the gang of four.
Gang of four right there.
Name them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. A, B, C, and D.
No, it's 4, 3, 2, and 1.
There you go.
That's what cat.
Benjamin Johnson sent these ones in. Here's some shots with my Samsung S8 and a custom-made filter processed in Photoshop. And he's on Lake Michigan,
Oh, wow.
north of Chicago. Yeah,
See it just starting.
just starting there. Yeah, that's with a Samsung phone, so
Wow, eh?
not bad with the phone.
Not bad at all.
with no scope. Yeah,
Yeah, it's really amazing.
and there's one with an inverted
Oh.
view.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Now, some people have sent me in more photos. I was only able to accommodate a bunch. I apologize for not being able to get everybody's photos on here tonight. If you sent more than a few, I grabbed as many as I could because we still had about 60 photos to go through tonight. So, but I still enjoy getting them. Still enjoy looking at them.
Oh, I think I know. That's cool.
I think you know that one, yeah. So this was
Yeah.
us, of course, set up on the day of. I just grabbed a few from I think these are your shots, Mike, or they were Renat's. I'm not sure which.
Oh, that's from us.
Okay, there's a live feed I was running. All the dust all over my phone. Thankfully, people couldn't see that on the other end, but it really showed up. It was so windy there. We're getting a lot of sand and dust around.
It was windy.
There's
That's cool. Let's take it off Matt's lens.
Yeah, and there we are. There's Xerox building in the background, so that's the crowd that joined us on that day. And I was lucky enough to have this little bit of a windbreak. I brought that along with me, just a little to keep the telescope from shaking. I think it really did help a lot for me anyway. And this guy, I'm not sure who took this one.
Who's that one now?
I don't know.
Never seen that.
You
Yeah,
must have been having an orange popsicle.
must have. I had to grab a couple of these guys' photos too. So this is Paul Owen's magnificent capture of the city with. And you're right, Paul. It did come up way over there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
By,
right over the city, just exactly where
Yeah.
where that app had told me where it was going to be.
Right.
Anyway, as it came up from there, then you can see that because it had already started. But as it just went up above that building a little bit, on the right-hand side, that's where the first initial moon going over the sun was.
Right.
Right on. Look at the color of the sky.
Yeah.
though.
Unreal.
Oh, that's what I was saying earlier about how it was nice to have that little bit of cloud there. It just set it off. It's just beautiful to look at.
Yeah. It was awesome. There's this other capture.
Oh yes, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Look at all those little cookie bites, eh?
Dedicate that one to Yolanda, yeah.
Yolanda, exactly, because her cookie looked just like that.
Just like that.
Why can't they have one of these every week anyway? Why I have to wait so long? Oh, there's a shot.
Look at that, the crescent.
The
That was
crescent.
last night.
That was last night.
Crescent
I'm
nebula.
not even finished with that one yet.
I know, but I had to grab it anyway. So this is the crescent
It's nice
nebula.
to
Mike,
get it that big.
Mike captured that
I
last
fought
night.
more clouds last night to get that stupid shot.
Well, you did well.
Every 2 minutes, my guide scope will say, lost star, lost star, lost star. That's funny.
Oh, look at that.
There's another one.
The dumb duck. That one never gets old, does it?
Not at all.
No, and
never.
it was virtually straight up, so it was
Yeah.
a nice, easy shot, too.
Yeah. Yeah, the apple core, they call it. Oh, M13
I'm
again.
13. I was trying to get it with it. Remember, I was saying I was going to try not to blow it in the center?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a gorgeous cluster.
Great shots.
We get
Yeah.
it.
Matthew Dupre sent this one in.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
The Elephant
Yeah,
Trunk
the
Nebula.
NGC 1396, I think it is.
Is that somewhere in that one that starts with a C?
Just outside of it, yeah.
Just outside of okay.
Yeah, that's a really cool nebula.
That's a wide angle shot because I can't get that far apart. You
Yeah, that's pretty wide. He must be using a smaller scope, I think.
think it's got to be like 400 millimeter, maybe.
I'm not sure, to be honest. But anyway, nice shot.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? Not quite all the way down. There we go. This one
Oh, but-
came
Oh,
from Carol Bean. Yeah, she sent someone in just late this evening.
You know, when you look at that, it's a lot. You just don't grasp that you're actually looking at the moon and the sun at the same time,
Right.
rather than a crescent sun or a crescent moon. You're
Yes.
looking at both. The moon crescent is just the light that you're not seeing, but when you're eclipsing like this, it's just amazing that you can see both the moon and the sun at the same time.
That's incredible.
Awesome shots.
Oh, amazing.
I think I'm missing one Paul Crowder, and I didn't capture his picture off of YouTube. I got it on my file here somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Just light.
Oh, somebody's got their volume playing in the background. Okay, all great photos. Thank you, folks. Just a second. I had something else here. Where is it? Just going to take that back to normal size. Yeah, so for me, this is my favorite shot. In the 1,500 live people I had online with the at the one time, it was just overwhelming to see that many people around the world really joining online with this. I was in my happy place for sure.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get a chance to capture any pictures, but thanks to Chantel Maynard and Isabel Holmes and Maura Healy and Mike Boyer, Scott Young at the Manitoba Museum, Cora Crowley, Kristen McGinn, Lucy LeBlanc, Teresa Rose, Carl Lamb, Alice McGovern, Chris Erb, Sly Legier, Doris Grimby, and others who shared captures with me. So thank you so much.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of little smiley faces going by.
Sure was. There's that guy.
Very good. High 100%.
And if you want to share your photos with us, you can send them into this address. The Sunday Night Astronomy Show, or SNAS at astronomybythebay.ca, and Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. That's our two addresses. I did want to share one other thing before I get out of this altogether. So if you think that your if you think that your shares don't count, they really do. So I went through the 1,200 and some comments over the last couple of days, but what I was able to do was pick out some of the places where people had joined us from. So everything on this side is from our part of the region, and then we've got some from Ontario, Brampton, Winnipeg, Nunavut. Then we get down into Boston and Ohio, Vermont, New Hampshire, Duluth, Minnesota. Then we get into England, France, Germany, Portugal, Nairobi, Kenya, India, New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, South Africa, the Netherlands, the Philippines, and even Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Wow. So your shares made that difference. And there were 1,200 and some shares on the page, I believe. I think it was 1,500 shares, actually. So when you do share my live feeds, it's very much appreciated. And I know this was a very special occasion too, so it was a little different than others, but still to be able to do that was awesome. So I gotta do something here just for a second. Talk amongst yourselves here for a second.
Yes. How about them Habs?
How about them Habs? Yeah.
Look at that. We start our new series tomorrow night against Las Vegas. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, they were the underdogs in every one of the series that they've been in, and no different with this one. So we'll see what happens. But whatever happens in this one, between New York and Tampa Bay, I think the Islanders are going to be the team whoever's in our series is going to face. So anyway, we're getting out of the crunch, and go Habs go.
There you go. I think I got his picture. Hang on. Yeah, I do. So just wanted to share that one more time because I did have Paul Crowder's picture. That was the last one that I didn't get a chance to share. And I see there's a few new ones up there, but they weren't in time for the show, so we will certainly hold them for next week. Anyway, this is Paul Crowder's shot from the UK.
Oh, nice.
So he was saying that we got some nice skies over here, but that was his maximum over there. So it was nice to see the difference in the sky, you know.
Yeah.
See, yeah. Our planet really is round, because if it was flat, he'd get the same view as us. Right, guys?
It's round like a plate.
Yeah.
No. It wouldn't have a curve, it'd be a flat line.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for that, Paul. Appreciate that. And now I can
It's
feel
a
a little
frisbee.
better by getting out. Okay, there we go. Well, guys, looks like we're back at 9:02 again.
We are.
Where'd the time go?
It goes just as fast as that eclipse.
It did. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so in closing tonight, folks, our special thanks once again for your continued support, and again thanks to Rosanna for her wonderful contributions to our show. We really do appreciate all your efforts there, Rosanna. Remember too, we do love getting your photos, so send them into snas@astronomybythebay.ca. Don't send them to Chris at Astronomy, because that address apparently isn't working for some reason. But snas at Astronomy by the Bay, SNAS at astronomybythebay.ca, or Sunday Night Astronomy Show if you'd like to really type. If you enjoy typing, at gmail.com, or just send them into my Facebook page. That's the easiest way, and we'll be happy to include them on the broadcast.
You can mail them, like snail mail.
Snail mail, that, yeah, good. Wait for those.
After you get them processed at the
Here's the eclipse from last year, the photo I took from last year.
And you're $1.25 if you're within the limits.
Yeah. How much that photo weigh? Anyway, we're also looking for topics for future shows. So if you have anything that you would like to share with us in a future episode, please send your request to the same address, and we'll do our best to make it happen for you. And page 2. Oh, yeah. We'll also ask that if you enjoyed the content here tonight and you joined us from YouTube, please consider giving us a like and subscribing to our channel. And please let your family and friends know that we are here every Sunday night at the same time to help educate and entertain you guys on the night sky. So for now then, from Mike and Paul and I, stay safe, everybody out there. We wish you all clear skies, especially for the next week or so. Nice clear skies coming up. We've got a nice moon coming up, so get out and enjoy it. And remember, as we like to say, guys, keep your scopes pointed up. Have a great week, everybody. Good night.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, where's the music?
There we go. Mr. Music, please.
He's got one job, Mike. One job.
On a bobblehead.
Not a bobblehead. Good night, everyone. Big hands.